Coming to you from nowhere near the entertainment capital of the world, this is the Fan Counters Celebrity Podcast.
You were like the carrot top of interviewers.
Wow, how disappointing was that question?
You did not just ask me that.
Well, that's a big question.
Never mind, I'm done. I'm not doing the show.
Wow, I can't believe it.
I'm telling you, I'm hooked.
Nick.
Yeah, he's so awesome. He's still a good friend of mine.
Welcome to episode 182 of the Fan Counters Celebrity Podcast. My name's Nick. Thanks so much for coming back and joining us. If you didn't understand why we took 3.5 months off, go to episode 181. If you want to hear about my meeting with Carl from Who Are These Podcasts, go to last week's show, episode 182. And on this week's episode, we're going to talk to you about what we're thinking about for the show. I am not quite sure if fans still want to hear this type of interview show that I do currently with actors that are well-known, those that are coming up and coming people who are in projects, movie stars that are in movies of the past and the present. I don't know if that's what you guys want anymore. Do you just want celebrity news? Do you want me to keep ragging on all those podcasts that I can't stand that are hosted by celebrities who don't know how to podcast? I'm talking about you, Jason Bateman, Will Arnett, and Sean Hayes and Smartless. I'm also talking about Dax Shepard, who hosts a terrible interview show, although he's a little bit more interesting than the other three I just mentioned, still has no skills in listening. And I can give you more examples of that as we go through the show. So if you wanted to be just that, we could morph it into that. If you would like a guest like you listening at home right now to be on the show, talking to your favorite celebrity, we can probably do something like that. Maybe I need a rotating cast of characters coming on the show. Now, as you remember, the first 100 episodes of Fan Counters had Elizabeth, one of my great friends, on the show each week, and it was Nick and Elizabeth. Then it morphed into Nick and Tracy. Tracy was another buddy of mine, and he was on the show for 50 episodes or so. I had a good time with him. I know that they're both interested in continuing to be on the show. Maybe you just want a bunch of people talking about inappropriate subjects, laughing and talking over each other. Those seem to be very popular with podcast listeners these days. That's something that maybe we can work out as well. Lots of options. So what do you want us to do with Fan Counters? We're willing to morph it into something that you really love and we'll talk about. We'll review on Apple Podcasts. We just like doing the show. So tell us what we can do to make this more of a show that you'd love to listen to. You can send those suggestions to hello@fancounters.com. Now, don't let this fall on deaf ears. If you're hearing me, send me an email. Let me know why you're listening, what you love about the show, what you don't love about the show. Maybe I complain about Smartless too much. That's possible. I'll admit it. So anyway, send me that email to hello@fancounters.com. Now, if you're listening to the show, make sure you go to YouTube. Check us out there. You can see the show, and you can see our guest this week, which is going to be really fun. In fact, she's a star of a new party movie, much like American Pie, and it's called Jonathan's Bar Mitzvah. I'm sorry, it's not. It's called Donnie's Bar Mitzvah. And it stars my guest, Isabel Anaya, and she's going to tell us all about Donnie's Bar Mitzvah, which you can check out on Apple TV and Amazon Prime. Again, I have to give them my apologies before I start the show because this is the final episode that I taped 3.5 months ago that I hadn't aired because I got super busy. Again, refer to episode number 181 or 180. See, I already lost track. Just because the show took a hiatus and these shows didn't get edited. But they are now. They're here for you. Isabel Anaya on the Fan Counters Celebrity Podcast. Isabel Anaya, welcome to the Fan Counters Celebrity Podcast. Thanks for joining us today.
Hi, thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So it's a party like no other. This film will go down in history because it's the debut movie from Jonathan Kaufman called Donnie's Bar Mitzvah. And while it plays like a 1998 VHS tape, it does look like a fun film to have been in. So tell us a little bit about this new film that has come out on Apple TV and Amazon Prime.
Well, as you know, it's a raunchy comedy, and it was honestly one of the most fun experiences I ever had. Jonathan Kaufman is absolutely hilarious, and especially when we're filming, he was such a character. I love him so much, and well, and like in the end, I get vomited on, and it was just so gross and amazing. I loved it.
So how did you find out about this film? And give me a little overview of what the audition process was like.
Well, I have this amazing manager, Nikki Minks, and she's got me the audition. They originally wanted a short blonde British girl, but she was like pitching to them, I got this girl, she's Mexican, like just let her audition. And they're like, okay. And so then when I auditioned, Jonathan really liked how I played the role, and he actually like picked me out right as I walked out of the room. He was like, called my Nikki, and he was all like, yeah, like we want her.
You knew it was the right part for you. He knew it.
Yeah.
Now, this is not a movie that many people would expect to see, which is good because it's not cookie cutter at all. It's actually filmed in a 4:3 aspect ratio instead of the normal widescreen that people would expect. Were you surprised to find this out, or did that make doing this whole movie a little bit more intriguing because it was different?
Oh yeah, it definitely made this movie stand out and different from, other movies. Yeah. Sorry.
That's okay. So what did you learn while you were making the film?
Oh wow. I learned let's see. That's a good question. I learned definitely how to be more professional because, working with a lot of other professional actors such as, Steele Stebbins and Adrian Siscato, they're very professional with how they act. And I honestly learned a lot from them on set because this is also my first official acting job. So they really they were like my mentors, but they don't know it.
They do now. What surprised you? What did you think was maybe something that would be really easy to overcome to be on set and to be in front of the camera? Because I know you had done a short film before this. What made this a little bit different for you as far as something you weren't expecting? Like, were you pretty prepared going in? Like you knew what you were getting yourself into?
Yeah, thanks to the short film that I did, the Corona Corps, it helped me get around the set to understand, who's who and who you talk to when you have this question or problem. If it weren't for that short film that I did, I would have totally been completely lost and maybe less professional. But yeah, I was able to persevere.
Okay. This is one of those films where the audience seems to love it, and critics and film festivals show very mixed reviews. So as an actress who put all of your efforts into this film, does it bother you that the film professionals aren't quite giving this the creative high five that it should get?
I think it's hilarious. I love it. We all make a joke out of it. I could all the other people in the movies, they were laughing at the New York Times' review, and it's it's not bad. It's good.
The review's not bad or the movie's not bad?
yeah, I really...
Well, it's just funny. The Rotten Tomatoes has an 86% for viewers, but like a 50% for critics. So it is kind of one of those movies where I think people will like it, and the others, like film snob critics, are like, "Oh, this is too raunchy or whatever."
Conservative, and it's really funny because there's a whole group of people who want to watch the movie now just because the New York Times didn't like it. It's a good thing.
Hey, they say no press is bad, right? If you're in the news, it's good. I do have to ask this, though, because you're a young actress, and when I'm a filmmaker, so when I make a film, I want to be able to have my family see it without me kind of slinking down into my chair because I'm embarrassed about anything. Did your parents have any reservations about you participating in a raunchy comedy like this?
Oh, they were all for it. And my dad especially. When I got it and he was reading the script, he was just laughing so loud. He was just really happy for me.
Very good.
They loved it.
Well, because your character, and we're kind of a family show, so we're not going to talk about what the nickname is, but your character has a nickname that's a little derogatory. That wasn't a concern, like with that catching on to the point where maybe it would make your real life uncomfortable with if people started calling you that?
Well, obviously I worried, that people would call me that in real life, but I don't think people I don't know exactly what I'm trying to come at here. Is just that people actually surprised me that everyone was just really happy for me and everyone loved it. And I have some people in my DMs just like texting me like, "Are you Isabel and Naya? I love the movie." And I'm just like, it just makes me feel so happy. And it's just like, even though I play a character who's popular for not the best reasons,
Right.
I am still pretty happy to play her, even though I'm not really like her.
Now, a lot of kids start acting when they're very, very young. But this was your first feature, right? What was in your past for acting, or what inspired you to be like, yeah, this is what I want to do. I'm going to go for it.
Well, my whole life, like elementary school and preschool, I used to do all the musical theater with all the kids, and I'd always go all out, and especially in the Three Little Piggies in elementary school, that's where my mom realized that I wanted to be an actress.
Okay.
But then we moved to California 6 years ago, and when I was 14, we met my amazing manager, and she believed in me, and she got me my role, and I booked it within a couple months of acting.
It's very impressive. I'm kind of wondering on the set, not everybody is as comfortable as maybe you were in being in a film like this. Were there ever moments, and you don't have to like call anybody out here, but were there moments with some actors where maybe they weren't comfortable with whatever was happening, where you witnessed how that situation was handled? Like, how did the director handle somebody who might not have been totally like ready to go?
I honestly don't. Everyone was pretty down for what was happening. The only thing close to that I could think of would be like there was a scene where I'm dancing between Steele Stebbins and Adrian Siscato, and Adrian was actually a little uncomfortable doing that scene because he's a very, very kind boy, and he's such a great actor because he played someone who is the complete opposite of who he is.
Sure.
And it's so every time we shot, between every scene, he'd come up to me and be like, "Are you okay? Are you okay with this?" Like, he was just so sweet, and I was always like, "Yes, of course," but like, yeah, he's such a sweetheart, and he dealt with it perfectly.
That's an awesome way to approach that. Tell us about the vomiting scene. I didn't know about it. So how did they make that happen? Take us behind the scenes.
Okay. Well, it was my favorite scene. It went swimmingly. I had two dresses, and two of the same dresses. And so I had the first one on, and so they had, Steele, opened his mouth, throw up, and they had a bucket. I think it was like warm oatmeal and orange juice. I don't even remember what was in it, but it was warm and sticky. And they had it in a tube thing and like a pump.
Uh-huh.
So they just pump it, and it shot. Like, the pressure was actually pretty hard. So the first time they just got it on my chest, and they're like, "Oh, that wasn't it. We got to change dresses. We want it on your face." And I'm like, "Okay." So I just put the dress on, and I didn't expect it to just be like, like up my nose. I was actually suffocating, but I was like, "Yes, do it." Loved it.
The ultimate method actress. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, even Steele, when he opened his eyes, he was so surprised with the amount of vomit on me.
Now, we know that COVID slowed a lot of productions down. Have you been able to continue auditioning for film or TV roles? And do you have any projects that are coming up or going on?
I have been able to keep up with auditions, obviously not as much since before COVID. Right. And I don't have any new acting projects out or coming out, but I am in a band called Hello New World, and we released a song on all platforms, and we do some gigs around LA, and we just got back from a gig in Las Vegas. We're hoping to get our name out there.
Wow. Okay, so Hello New World, what kind of music is it? I mean, how do you describe
we honestly play all genres. It's really hard to stay to one because it's where there's three of us in the band, and all three of us have three completely different music tastes. I like Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath. Our lead singer likes Shaka Khan and okay. Beyonce. And then our drummer likes Suicidal Tendencies. So it's just like, but we do, we cover some songs, but we mainly write our songs. And I would say, I don't even, like I said, they're all genres. We try to do jazz, we try to do pop, rock,
Okay.
all of it.
And you just released a new song. Did I catch that?
Yes,
What's
we
that
just
called?
released a song. It's called It's You,
Okay.
and it's on all music platforms.
Excellent. Now, are you going to work on music videos next? Is that
Yes, we've been working on trying to do a music video or trying to do like a live stream concert show,
Nice.
you know, working with one of those, because that'd be like so much fun. And yeah, that's where we're headed.
And do you have social media launched for the band? Tell us about that.
Yes, we do. We have a website and we have an Instagram. Our Instagram is Hello New World. And yeah, we have our lead singer's mother is our manager. She used to manage back in the day, so she knows what she's doing, and we got a producer, and it's working out pretty well. And I'm the lead guitarist of the band.
Awesome. And how long have you been playing guitar?
6 years now.
Okay. Very cool. A bass or electric? Probably electric, right? Yeah, of course. Okay. So now that your friends have had a chance to see you on screen in a major movie, do you get treated differently in your peer group?
Not at all.
Yeah. Just very
Not at
supportive
all.
people?
Yeah, they all completely loved it, and they even made their parents buy it. And then I had their parents texting me like, "Oh, that was a movie." And I'm like, "Yes, yes, it was."
That's awesome. I tried to come up with a few fun questions for you. One of them is about acting resumes, especially when you're first trying to get those major roles. A lot of times people will put different hobbies or interests that they have on their resume. Do you have any talents on your resume that you think are maybe useless?
I love that question. I mean, I don't know. Does tennis playing, is that useless?
No, there could be a good role for that. You never
Really?
know. Well, you never know.
I don't know. I mean, I know some people may exaggerate on their resume, but I try to keep it 100% with things I can do.
You can actually do. That's probably a good
Yeah.
thing. I've heard too many stories where people are like, "Yeah, can you horseback ride?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, all the time." And then they get on set and they're like, how do I get on the horse?" I'm like, I thought you did
That's
this.
my biggest fear. So I didn't want to. Yeah, I was like, all things I know how to do, because oh my.
Yeah. 2021 is unbelievably almost halfway through. And I know that you've accomplished a goal of having been in a movie that's been released this year, but what other goals do you have for the rest of the year?
I really graduate high school.
Oh, you're a senior.
Yeah, I'm a senior.
Awesome.
I graduate in June.
Congrats.
Thank you. It's gonna be honestly just trying to get good grades, keep acting, hopefully, you know, just keep moving forward with music and acting. And yeah, nothing really other than that.
Okay. Those are good goals though too. Now, social media plays a huge part in everyone's life, but it's really essential for anybody who wants to stay in the public eye, being in a band, acting, and that kind of thing. Have your social media habits changed since you've either been in the film or launched your band?
Not really, and I think that's a fault on my end. I should post more, because if I'm trying to make it in this industry, I should be posting more, but I have a habit of not really posting often. And yeah, so my habits have stayed the same, but I should
Should do more. Okay.
Yeah.
Finally, what is something that people would be surprised to know about you? That's all right. We're going to cut out all the silence of you thinking, and it's okay.
What's surprising about me? Oh wow. I've never thought about, I mean, there's a lot of things surprising about me, I guess you could say, when you meet me, because when you meet me, I have a nervous tick where if I'm really nervous, I make like screech noises. It's just what I do to relieve myself of the anxiety.
Okay.
So people, yeah.
It's very cool. Well, I want to congratulate you on the film. And people can go see it by visiting Amazon Prime and Apple TV. It's called Donnie's Bar Mitzvah. And, of course, Hello New World, the band. They can check out the song It's You. And let us know one more time those social media handles where we can find you and follow your career.
social media, my Instagram is Isabel Anaya with 2 A's at the end. And then the band's Instagram is Hello New World. You can find me and the band on Instagram.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining us this week. We do appreciate your time.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's almost playoff time. The Brewers are doing well, and I can't wait to watch some Brewers playoff baseball coming up very soon. Thanks to my guest, Isabel Anaya. She was great on the show today. And thank you for listening. Thank you for sending us an email telling us what you'd like to see Fan Counters become. What can we do for you? Send us an email to hello@fancounters.com. And we will talk to you again very soon, hopefully next week, but otherwise very soon. I will not take that long of a delay to kind of let you know what the show is going to be and what we're morphing it into and all of that. So stay tuned to the Fan Counter Celebrity Podcast and come back next time. All right, we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.